Hi everyone, it's Julie. Welcome to your Pilates for pelvic floor workout. This is a really lovely one to train your pelvic floor muscles. So incorrectly, I think we always assume that pelvic floor work is only something that women do. But of course men have a pelvic floor too. So this video is designed to help you train your pelvic floor, whether you are a male or a female. And again, incorrectly, I think we assume that pelvic floor work is only something women take who have had children, so or gone through a pregnancy journey, and that's simply not true at all. So your pelvic floor muscles are quite simply your seat. So they sit underneath you and they literally are responsible for holding up or holding in a lot of your internal organs, and basically supporting the weight of everything that's on top of them. So they're a super important muscle group to work. Like I say, strength, tone, but you also need to be able to understand how to release them, because sometimes too much tone in the pelvic floor muscles is not a good thing. So two things that we look at there. Anatomically, they are slightly different. So for men, we recruit our pelvic floor muscles by simply drawing in towards the body and then lifting up, so quite straightforward. And for women, it's slightly different. So the correct recruitment pattern for your pelvic floor is by thinking of drawing the sit bones together, and then you zip up underneath you. And then, so you're zipping up towards your pubic bone, and then you think about drawing up inside. So slightly different, sit bones draw together, think of a zip from back to front to your pubic bone, and then you're gonna lift up. So again, that's why it's important that we move slowly in Pilates, why we move intentionally in Pilates, because you've got to think of all these things happening to bring it all together, and it is part of the centering process. So on your exhale, when we say, exhale, draw that belly button in towards the spine, you should be thinking about exhaling, scooping the belly, and then lifting through your pelvic floor. So that is sort of a form of recruitment, whichever gender you are, you're going to kind of recruit your pelvic floor at the same time, and you will feel a massive difference if you're doing it properly. You should feel a lot more supported if you've got that additional muscle group working for you too. So that said, we're going to come onto our backs. We're going to set ourselves up in relaxation position, and these are some super simple exercises that you can do just to start to train your mind to work with your pelvic floor when you're centering. So let's come to our mat. So you're going to set yourself up in neutral position in the spine. So just find the back of your head, try and soften the rib cage to the mat, find the back of the pelvis, and then you can pop your two fingers on your hip bones. Just make sure if they feel nice and level and in line with the pubic bone. And then you can just rest down here and start to focus on your breathing. So of course our heels are in line with our sit bones, we're parallel, and the collarbones are open to the sky. So all of the normal points you would consider in a relaxation position to bring you into neutral. And then just close down the eyes and start to think about your breathing. So breathing into our ribs, so widening, allowing the rib cage to widen on the mat. This is a stretch in itself for the pelvic floor. So the diaphragm, the thoracic cavity, and the pelvic floor diaphragm are all connected through fascia. So just by taking some focused breaths, you're actually releasing and stretching all the way from up here down towards your pelvic floor. So starting with that, take a breath into the ribs. See if you can fill all the way up to your collarbones, relax the jaw, the shoulders, allow the collarbones to be wide. As you exhale, through the mouth, gently start to hollow out, drawing that belly button in towards your spine. And another one just like that, breathing in nice and slow. Fill the ribs all the way to the top. And then breathing out through the mouth. Imagine you're forming a mirror. And then thinking of that wrapping sensation. So that's you starting to recruit your deep core muscles to stabilize you. So we're going to add the pelvic floor into it this time. So you're going to take a breath in. And as you exhale, think about that recruitment pattern I spoke about at the start. So if you're female, start to exhale, draw the sit bones together, zip up underneath you to the pubic bone, hold that, and then you're going to start to draw up inside you with your next out breath. And if you're a gentleman, you're going to think of drawing in and then up. So I want you to think about that when we go through the next 2 rounds of breathing. Breath in, and then exhale, start to engage your pelvic floor. Start to hollow out, drawing the abdominals down to meet the pelvic floor as it lifts up. And you should feel really supported and secure down here. Another breath like that, hold that connection. And then exhale, Same thing again, so drawing the sit bones together, hollowing out. We're lifting upwards and inwards. Relax the jaw, the shoulders. Good. For on there, keeping that sense of connection, keeping that sense of working with the breath. You're just going to come into a little knee opening, so continuing to exhale as the leg opens and continuing to keep that connection to your center, and draw the leg back in. Breath in, exhale, centering, including your pelvic floor. Leg to the other side, keep that ribcage soft and on the mat, collarbones open. So exhale again to move, lifting through your pelvic floor, drawing the abdominals to wrap, so really supporting yourself so the hip bones are staying level. It's just the isolated movement of the thigh bone, opening out, drawing back out. We're going to go the other way, so same thing, breathing in to prepare, exhaling, scooping and thinking of that connection to the pelvic floor. Just stack one knee over your hip. Again, looking to keep that pelvis nice and level, looking to keep the spine stable. Breath out to return the foot. Keep thinking of that rib cage soft, drawing down towards the mat, so you're nice and released, and down. Breath in, exhale. So center, little lift in the pelvic floor. Stacking one knee, exhale, keeping that connection. Breath in. Connecting here, keeping nice and neutral. So hopefully it will feel slightly different. If you're not used to connecting with your pelvic floor, you should feel a lot more connected or supported when you start to actively recruit your pelvic floor muscles. So taking the foot down, breath in, exhale, and down. Beautiful, good. From there, we'll take a little leg slide. So breathing in again, as you exhale, you're just going to slide the leg away, lifting, connecting. Really open your hip here, so allow the back of the knee to open towards the mat. Breath in, and then as you exhale, center, lifting through that pelvic floor, just draw the leg back in. Other side, keep the ribs soft, exhale. Connect to that center, lift to your pelvic floor, draw in to meet as the abdominals wrap down. Kicking out through heel, get a nice stretch out of your hip here, exhale, draw that foot back in. Good, one more each side, breath in, exhale. Just let it be smooth and relaxed. So this will train the strength, the tone, and then on your exhale, make sure when you relax, when you come back to your start position, that you, when you're finished your repetitions, that you just release the pelvic floor. So really try and let go of that tension or that tone that you've held. So it's important that you are able to release your pelvic floor muscles as well as work them to stabilize you. So let's come into ribcage closure. So again, thinking of keeping the ribs committed to the pelvis. As you exhale, center, soften the ribs, float the arms, keep the shoulder blades on the mat, take them all the way overhead, but keep the ribcage drawing down, drawing down, drawing down. Reaching through the fingers, don't lose that connection, keep the lift. Breath in, exhale, and arms all the way back down. Same again, breath in, exhale, center. So recruiting your pelvic floor. Keep the ribs soft, reach through the fingers, arms up, all the way back down. Let's do two more, breath in, exhale, all the way overhead, all the way back up. Last one here. All the way back, bringing the arms all the way back down. Good. Rolling over onto your side, pressing yourself up. That's how to recruit your pelvic floor in Pilates. I hope you found it useful. Leave a comment if you did. Take it nice and slow. Try and picture all those connections happening, and in your practice, see if you can start to incorporate that little lift, that recruitment of your pelvic floor into your centering, and I'll see you back here soon.